Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to Coffee Talk! Alright, so if you don't know, Coffee Talk is where I talk about conspiracy theories or ideas or alternative history that I don't really believe in, but I find really interesting. And today, we're talking about the dangers of 5G. Dun dun dun. 5G is killing me. Oh, don't. I'll spill my coffee. Sorry, I was rocking out. 5G is killing me. I guess I can't bang my head and drink coffee at the same time. I spilled coffee. So, you might ask yourself, Sage, or ask me, Sage, why would you have 5G on Coffee Talk? Don't you believe that 5G is real and or hurting us? Well, I think it's pretty clear that this new technology may be dangerous. So let's talk about that for a minute. I don't believe that everything that they say about 5G is necessarily true. I need more information. But let's talk about what we know about 5G, what they say about 5G, and we'll just cut through the stuff and get to the facts. All right, just the facts, ma'am. So, let me turn this over. Almost started at the back end. I did take notes on this because there's a lot to this. So what is 5G? Well, it's a new technology that operates for cell phones on a higher frequency. So it's a new frequency. We had 3G, we had 4G, now it's 5G. But what does that really mean? It's a higher frequency. What does that have to do with anything? And why does that make it more dangerous? Well, a higher frequency means that you're creating waves in the air. Radio waves are bigger, and cell phone waves are smaller, and garage door opener waves are smaller, and then you get down here into these tiny little waves, these tiny little microwaves. That's right, 5G technology is microwave technology. They're nuking us! Ah! Sorry, I didn't mean to scream in your face. But what are some of the advantages of having these smaller waves? Well, they will, because they occur at a higher frequency, it has increased download speeds. So you can have Wi-Fi level video download speed on your cell phone without being connected to a Wi-Fi. And this opens up the door for a lot of new technologies that are kind of on the radar. And with the infrastructure of the 5G network, they'll be able to implement more of those technologies and take us to the next level in, gosh, I can't imagine a next level in cell phones. Really, what's it going to do? Cut the grass for me? That's what's next. It'll just microwave ray the, never mind. We're going to find some way to cut the grass so that people like me don't have to anymore. I own a house. I don't live there, but I still have to cut the grass. What's up with that? Anyway, yeah, so is it dangerous? Is 5G dangerous? Well, all magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields, man-made or otherwise, are dangerous. This is just a bottom line. It disrupts the human physiology and animals and plants on a cellular level. To put it in layman's terms, it just creates bad vibes, bad vibrations that are destructive to the human cell structure. This is according to scientists who have researched this, and this is according to medical doctors who have seen the results of this kind of magnetic field destruction. Wi-Fi signals, cell phone towers, transformers and high lines, dirty electricity, all of this creates these these magnetic fields that can cause cancer clusters. This has been proven, and actually lawsuits have been filed, won, and paid out on this. So it's a fact. No coffee needed. Take the coffee down. It's a fact that if you live under a high line, you're probably in much higher danger for cancer and cancer tumors of the brain especially than you are if you live far away from electrical high lines, especially those big ones that move so much, so many thousands of volts across the high lines. So, yeah, they're definitely dangerous. I saw a medical doctor who practiced medicine for 25 years, I think she said, who, this was online, who was testifying before Congress about 5G. And she says that this new technology is just going to make worse an already existing problem, where we have a higher rate of diabetes if you're closer to a cell phone tower. Now, this isn't even with the 5G. This is just with 4G. And it just gets worse when you ratchet it up to the higher frequencies, and the smaller waves are more penetrative and more destructive to the, to life in general. But apparently, this attacks your endocrine system. I think that's the right one, endocrine system. But at any rate, it causes diabetes. And people that live near 5 or 4G towers are experiencing much higher levels of glucose than people that live further away. So this is a scientifically proven statistical fact. Same with cancer tumors. The closer you live to a 4G source, a cell phone tower, that sort of thing, the more likely you are to experience tumors and miscarriages. And the new one, a huge jump in a thing called congestive heart failure. And this just basically means your heart can't keep up and it doesn't pump blood to the organs fast enough, and you can get sick in various ways. The biggest one is becoming having shortness of breath because your chest cavity is filled up with water and it's drowning you in your own fluid. Down with congestive heart failure. But is there more to it than just a health risk? Some people out there, and this is where I need the coffee. This is where I need the coffee because I'm not sure about the rest of this. I'm pretty sure that all this technology is dangerous, and it just makes me want to move to the mountains and get away from it. But I do like talking to y'all. It's kind of I want the technology, but I don't want to die from it. I like cell phones, but not bad enough to die over them. But some people can't claim that the new 5G that's being rolled out and in some places has been in operation for more than a year is actually also can be used as a weapon or a mind control weapon. This is also being called the voice of God technology, where they can send out signals in general from this 5G. Now, this is coming from people who claim to have inside Illuminati, high level kind of, I don't know, what is it, Agenda 23, or now they're calling it Agenda 2030, where they are trying to reduce the population. So this is kind of coming from that camp. That's why I need some coffee. I'm not so sure about all that, but it does make sense to some level. And I've heard people at high levels in the cabal definitely make statements that they wish there were fewer human beings and they're involved in making that happen. So why wouldn't 5G be part of it? But also, so, there's that, but then there's the voice of God technology where they can put thoughts in your heads, or they can take whole regions and just punch in a code, and now everyone in that whole region becomes agitated. This kind of goes back to people like the son of Sam, who was a serial killer who claimed that his dog was speaking to him. Was he just crazy, or were they testing this technology? Excuse me, the coffee burps. Ooh. I'm pounding coffee this morning. I spilled some too, but he claimed that his dog told him to do it. Was it this technology? Were they testing it on him? The old adage, the devil made me do it. That people are hearing voices. Is this demonic? Is this insanity? Or is this technology something that they've been testing for some time and just now are rolling out on all of us? And there are the targeted individuals who claim that they're being hit with some kind of ray all the time. And I have my own experience of being hit with some kind of microwave weapon in Denver. See my video, The Tesla Death Ray, the most frightening night of my life. So I know that this technology exists as a weapon. It's just whether or not they've tied it into these 5G towers, and why would they? But it could be to create targeted individuals. It could be as a replacement for MK Ultra. If you just zero in these thoughts onto somebody's brain frequency and punch it into their head with this technology, can you make them do something like commit a crime that they normally wouldn't do, or to kill someone, or to be a sleeper cell or a terrorist of some sort? If you could pump enough of this to their brain, could you make them do it? Is that happening? Is that what happened in Las Vegas? Is that what happens at these school shootings? Are these people targeted individuals? Now, what concerns me too is that they could be using this technology for mass agitation. I will say this, 5G rolled out about a year ago in key places, mainly in big cities. At the same time, in these big cities, you see this uptick of, well, did you see the video with the guy at the vape shop who flipped out and had a little meltdown, maniac freak out on the guy who was wearing a MAGA hat, who was just trying to buy some cherry-flavored or grape-flavored vape juice for his wife, and the guy just, I mean, the guy working behind the counter, I'm sure you've seen it, this dude just comes unhinged and he screams like a child having a mad fit. Man, that's got to be the devil, or that's got to be the voice of God technology, or some kind of mass agitation weapon to make people act like that. What's wrong with him? I didn't understand that at all. He was absolutely triggered. The whole idea of being triggered, is it real? Or is it part of this technology? Are they sending out mass agitation waves? You know, Trump derangement syndrome might be caused by this technology. Also, I got to say that they have Trump derangement syndrome, but I'm starting to see a development in the Patriot movement, especially those who are associated with Q, who are kind of having a similar kind of illogical meltdown. Okay, does it make sense to trash our Constitution, the thing we're supposed to be defending, the thing that they're trying to trash? Now, we're going to trash our Constitution and round up people and have military tribunals outside the Constitution, suspend the Bill of Rights and habeas corpus and right to trial by jury of your peers and all of that. You're crazy! I'm sorry. If you think that's a good idea, there's something wrong with you. You're getting affected by the 5G. Yes, we need to do something, but we have the systems in place, we just need to utilize them. And the idea that we should declare martial law, suspend the Constitution over this stuff that's going on, and somehow become the tyrants that we oppose is insanity, and it's got to be related to Trump derangement syndrome. Does the right have their own version of Trump derangement syndrome? And is this natural phenomenon, or is this being triggered, started, and agitated by this new technology of 5G? I mean, are they doing this intentionally? Hey, if you can't overcome the populace, why don't you get them to turn on each other? We'll use a weapon to agitate everybody. We won't have to thin the population. We'll just turn the switch on and they'll thin themselves. Don't. I've got to say, in the past couple of years, since I started living closer into a major metropolitan area, and yes, I live in a van down by the river, but what you people don't realize, potentially, unless you're from Oregon, is that the river runs right through the middle of every major city and town, has a river right in the middle of it. So I'm in a lot more urban environment most of the time than I used to be. And since I moved into this area where there's cell phone towers everywhere, I mean, that's how I communicate with you guys, is we're doing it through the 4G right now. I'm going to upload this video on 4G and send it out because I'm close enough to a tower. But since I've been close enough to a tower to have this kind of great connection and Wi-Fi, I've also experienced a downgrade in my personal health. I've experienced symptoms related to congestive heart failure. I don't have a diagnosis because I don't go to the doctor, but I've read the books and it sounds about right. And now I hear this is related to 5G and it freaks me out. But yeah, I mean, my joints are going. I don't know whether I'm just getting old or whether I'm under attack. Don't. I'm under attack by old age, for sure. Death, the final enemy. I hope to vanquish him someday. But yeah, I mean, could we all be being victimized? I mean, have you done something that's out of character for you lately? Have you popped a gasket and been triggered? Have you ever acted like the members on the left? I mean, let's be honest. Really look at yourself. Have you had an incident of road rage lately? Are they sending out this 5G microwave weapon to fry our brains and turn us all against each other and make us all babbling idiots? Don't. I don't know. I need a lot of coffee for all of it. But I will say this, I'm falling apart, but it's probably just old age and too much partying in my youth. It's the perils of a misspent youth. All right, we'll talk to you next time on Coffee Talk. Oh, that's gross. I'm going to edit the end off of this.